Pushpita, BK, thanks for taking some time to share your story about the earthquake in Nepal. Tell us a little bit about yourself and sort of how long you've been here at ETSU, sort of what your status is.
I am Pushpita Shrestha. I'm a graduate student doing my major in computer science. I came in fall 2013 and I have been here since then, with my graduate studies, and I was going to graduate in this in 1 week from now, and all this happened. I heard about this earthquake back in Nepal. I was scattered to see all the places I've been. I have grown up to be scattered, and all buildings being collapsed. People are living outside in tents and temporary shelters with no facilities, not even first aid kit or food, and they don't have a proper tent to be safe outside in an open space. So
yeah.
Can you tell us a little bit about you?
I'm Krishna Thakuri. I'm a biomedical graduate student. I came here at 2013 August, so this is my second year, and I still have 2 or 3 more years to complete. Talking about the earthquake, it was happening around 11 a.m. in my country, so I got a notice. It was online notice from my friend. They sent me a message. Okay, there is a huge earthquake. Our house is fine, but all the surrounding wall is destroyed. And I say, okay, maybe they were joking. But later on, when I tried to contact with my family, at that time, even the phone was not working, but the internet was very fine. So I was able to contact with my brother in the Skype. So I was able to see the video, and while I was talking, there was my sister's child. She's a small child. She was a girl. While I was talking, it was aftershock, and she was literally crying in front of me. So they were so much scared, so they were so much disturbed, and they were just trying to get together with each other. And what they did is all the family, all the surrounding neighbor, they just come out, stay in the open area for the whole night. So the thing happened that one, but there was no any help. They just helped each other, because at the time of crisis, nobody was expecting government will come exactly at the same time and they can help. They were just trying to help each other. So they just tried to help each other for 1 or 2 days. But after earthquake, the problem was there was a rain. There was a rain. Even though they established a tent, there was a rain. So they again suffered by natural way. They again suffer. So after a rainfall, again they have to scatter out, because all the tent that they established is not properly built so that they can withstand the rain.
Right.
So after that, again they have to scatter out. So now what they are doing is they are just helping each other. Even though my house is in the capital city, it's in the village, but still they are not getting the government help, and they are not expecting, because they are not so much damaged as compared to the remote area. So they are just helping each other. And slowly I'm just getting in contact with my relatives. My relatives are safe. I can just say the safe, because they are not fine, because everyone is staying outside the house for the last 4 or 5 nights. So they are safe, but they are not fine. And a lot of my friends, they lost their house. Even my sister, she lost her house, but she is safe. That's the good news. So whenever we just ask whether you are safe or not, because we are not asking whether you are fine or not, because we just want them to be safe. So all of my relatives are safe. My friends, as far as I heard, they are safe, but they are in a very big trauma, because they are literally shook with that earthquake. And the relief effort, it is slowly coming up, but it is not so much fast, because government is struggling with coping with because the scale of disaster is very high. So they are just trying to help each other. They are getting a relief, but the amount of relief is very low. It is only in the case of a capital, but as far as we heard, those person who is living outside the capital city or which is in the remote area, entire village is totally destroyed. If there was a house of 1600 to 1700, there is literally no house to live. So they are really struggling very much hard. So it is a really hard time in our country, and we are running out of food to eat. We are running out of pure drinking water, because after earthquake, the water facility that we have is completely destroyed. So even though there is a private organization which is now they are giving a free water, still the amount of people who is suffers, it's very high. And the medicine is they are trying to cope with the medicine, but even the hospital is running out of basic need, the gloves, syringe injection. So it's like literally we are out of food, medicine, and the drinking water. So those are the main stuff. And also a tent is the main required, because I think it's almost more than 2 million people is affected. So that amount of tent we require, because they are literally staying outside of our house. And like the death amount is really increasing high. So the government agency is also asking for the bag, like the body bag, so that they can put the dead body, because it's already been more than 4 days and still it's very hard to recover the dead bodies, and like they are slowly starting to rotten. So it's like, so they also require the dead bag, like the body bag, so that they can put their dead body. So those are the needs that our country required, and we're just trying to help, even though the amount of skill is low, but we can help as far as we know. So we're trying to help it out.
Tell us a little bit about how you became aware of the earthquake and sort of some of your immediate response.
Because Nepal is like 12 hours ahead of us, and it was Saturday morning there, and my family was at home that day, and I usually talk once a week with them, and it was Friday, like 2:11 here, and I was talking back home with them, and like suddenly my brother said, "Oh, it's earthquake," and they like had to rush out in the middle of Skype. So, and like there was no connection after that, and network connection of like mobile connection was so busy, and I couldn't reach them out, and I was literally so scared. Like I was shaking whole night and worrying about what had happened, and I see all these viral videos on Facebook, YouTube, and all on the internet, and the place, this UNESCO heritage site is just like 15 minutes away from my house, and that has all collapsed. So I was like so worried about my family, and they called me back around like 6:30 in the morning. Then only like I could be little relieved, like at least they are safe. Even like this disaster have happened, like my family, my relatives and my friends are safe, but this thing has happened, and like I couldn't even imagine how the other people they have lost their families, they have lost their house and are staying outside with no support. I can't even imagine how they are feeling right now. So like best thing we can do it from here is like do some fundraise and send them to the people in need.
So yesterday and today you have set up a booth and are asking for folks to support Nepal, stand with Nepal, and giving some monetary donations that you all will send.
Actually, we're just trying to help. Like, as we are a Nepali, we have some responsibility to our country. So we're just trying to fulfill our responsibility to the country. Even though the scale of money we are trying to get here is small, but we can do something. That's what we are trying to do. Even though scale we are doing is small, even though other friends are doing small, even though it's small, if we gather together, it will be a huge relief for all the people which we are trying to help. So we are basically trying to fulfill our responsibility to our country so that we can help those people who is suffering. And there is a lot of generous people out here. They just need a channel how to convey their sympathy or their funding, their donation to our country. So we are just basically setting up a channel so that they can give their donation or sympathy to my country. So we are trying to fulfill our responsibility to our country by establishing a channel so that they can convey their sympathy as well as the fund or donation to my country. So basically in the university, as university is almost closed, so we set up a booth yesterday and today just to get more funds so that we can just help some part, because we are not able to help everything in our country, but we are just trying to focus only certain area which is very hard hit, like literally whole village is destroyed. So we are basically looking for only specific part so that we can help that one. So we are just establishing the channel.
And ETSU has been also like so supportive to us. They have set up a ETSU response page and set up a website where you can go and donate online. And also like we are still having a fundraiser today at Cave Patio, so anyone who like can come there and support us.
Talk a little bit more about, obviously there's the things that we want to do now and immediately, but this obviously is going to require support for the long term. Can you talk a little bit about that?
Yeah, actually, like the earthquake which happened now is like it's a huge scale. So government is not able to cope with all this stuff. So like there is a water is a problem because it's not a pure water which is drinkable, and the dead body, there's a lot of dead body which still has to be recovered. So it's like it's still in the debris. So it's like it's slowly rotten. So there is a high chance it's gonna be a high, like it may contaminate the water and have a maybe chance of high epidemic disease, because slowly we are going to the rainy season where we have a lot of rain, and it's gonna be really hot and rainy season. So now it's normally maybe more than 2 million people is affected because of earthquake, but if this condition is not controlled or if it is not managed well after the rainy season or after 2 or 3 months, I think it will be more than 10 million people which is going to be directly or indirectly affected, because the disease, like our country is in a subtropical region, so there is a high chance we're going to have more epidemic disease, because the basic need like sanitation is a problem because everything is scattered. So there is the problem in the sanitation, drinking water is not pure, so and the lack of medicine. So there is a high chance that the scale of fatality that we have now is may gonna be increased very exponentially if it is not managed properly because of the disease which may gonna happen after this rainy season or after 1 or 2 months, because everything is scattered, so it has to be managed so properly.
Pushpita, will you talk about sort of what you would say to the ETSU community, faculty, staff, and students, not just specific about what you're doing yesterday and today, because obviously this is going to go up after that, but just, you know, your request to the ETSU and your thanks to them for their support.
Yeah, ETSU community and ETSU international student, everyone has been very helpful to us to make this setup on the university today, yesterday and today. And we also like to thank all of them who came and supported us and helped us in this crisis time. And we would be doing more fundraiser event to have to help them throughout for later in Nepal. So we would like to request you to support us in any ways, spread the word, or like pray for Nepal. That would be really appreciated.
Any other last words? Anything else you would want to share?
Actually, I have seen a lot of my friends, like even though they are not closely related to our country, even though they don't have so much connection with the country, they just literally try to help me because we are a part of ETSU family. So they are doing a lot of stuff for us, like the music department. We just sent a mass mail in the ETSU whole community, and they just responded to us, and they just did a concert just to help for us.
Yeah,
Similarly,
even we don't have a Nepali student there, they just set up on their own and like raise a fund with their recital. That was really nice of them, and we really appreciate that.
And also the biomedical science, like my classmate, like they are just, the whole medical school is having a big sale on the next Wednesday. They just try to raise more fund so that they can channel that money through us to the Nepal. So it's like, even though they are not closely related to the Nepal, they just help us because we are a family of the ETSU family community. So they are just trying to help as much as possible. So we are really thankful for the ETSU as a whole family, because they are just responding very, like it was the short notice, but they respond so well that we are very pleased with their response. So we would like to thank all the ETSU community for their response and help.